All right, another awesome day, and it was a beautiful day, great crowd. Again, just and then a special day with C.J. Spiller going in the Ring of Honor. That's really one of the coolest moments I've been a part of, and really thankful for that. The Lord let me see that. That was awesome. But proud of our team. I knew Virginia's a tough team. Tony's got them going in the right direction. They probably could have won 2 other games, but they got away from them. But they're a tough, physical team that has, you can see the mentality really growing. I knew it would be a tight game early, but proud of our guys and how they kind of weathered the storm. And really the third quarter was awesome. Really set the tone. 21 points in the third quarter. Got control of the game. Really the first quarter, I thought offensively, really the whole day, we had really good rhythm, really good precision and execution in what we were doing. We just, we missed that was just a bad play by Cade. It was just a terrible play, and that kind of killed that drive. And then we had Stellato for a first down, and just came, should have had that. That's really it. That was only 2 punts in the first half, but really just awesome job in the second half offensively, really the whole time. Really proud of how we're playing, doing a lot of great things there. 539 yards, 7.2 yards per play, and 6 consecutive games of 6.5 yards per play. That's we think the first time in school history. So that's hard to do. We've had a lot of great offenses around here, but nobody's ever had 6 games in a row, 6.5 or more per play. And that's a credit to details and execution and really just the players buying in. Our quarterback is playing at a really, really elite level. Our offensive line, no sacks. They're playing really well. Maffa is just tough. He's a handful. And then we got guys making plays all over the field. I think we had 7 passes of 20 yards or more by 6 different guys. And oh, by the way, Tyler Brown not dressed, Wesco not dressed. So I'm just really proud of the development. Grish has done an awesome job with our receivers, Kyle with those tight ends, Spiller with the backs, Matt with the OL, Garrett with Cade. It's just really fun to watch. Those guys are playing at a high level. And a lot of guys, Stellato's had a couple really good weeks in a row. I think he had a career high. Brittany got banged up, was able to come back and finish. But how about those 2 plays by Olsen? Those were 2 high-level plays. One just, running through trash, running through contact, and then the other one was, we had 2 of the best completions that you'll ever see on 2 of the worst passes you'll ever see. One by Antonio and one by Cade. He threw a short hopper, and that's, having coached skill my whole life, the hardest catch to make is a low ball. And to really, and to be able to keep your feet, because you got to dig your fingertips underneath those balls. That's just really hard to do. And for him to dig that ball up in that situation too, knowing you're wide open, and keep his feet and go score. The degree of difficulty of that was 11 out of 10. And it was awesome. Not a great throw, but wow. But that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, clean, when you touch it, you're supposed to clean it up, for your quarterback. But that was awesome. Brenny's just, he's a workhorse for us, a lot like Maffa. Maffa, Brenny, Antonio, they just show up every week. They show up every single week, and really proud of those guys. Antonio, another great game, had a big rushing touchdown. And again, obviously the play, and I didn't know this until after the game. In fact, I just called Coach Elliott to make sure he knew it. But that's one of those, put it in the category of, you can't make it up, right? Like the last time that a non-quarterback had a completion in back-to-back games at Clemson was 2002, Tony Elliott. It's crazy. So pretty cool, little stat there. But again, offensively, no sacks. Our OL just doing a great job, and a lot of guys are contributing. Defensively, I was really proud of how we stopped the run. We really shut the run down. I thought the first quarter was a little frustrating because we, had the 2nd and 10, and we know this quarterback is a problem, and we let him run for it. And then 3rd and 17, and we shouldn't have been there. That was off the turnover. We gave him a short field. that doesn't excuse the 3rd and 17 draw. We got a great call, and nobody rallies and makes the play. The kid runs for 19 yards and didn't get points. So, but outside of that first quarter, I thought we really played well defensively, second and third quarter, and then into the fourth quarter, all of a sudden, you got a big lead. You sub some guys, and the next thing you know, I didn't see that the last couple of weeks, but this week with some guys that got a chance to get in there and play, Tony wasn't subbing. Tony kept playing. He kept playing. He went no huddle, tempo, onside. I'm like, okay, all right. And then he comes right back. There's Strozier, but he gives me credit for that. But it was a lot of opportunity in the fourth quarter for us to get some of these guys that we need to get better. The guys that are good enough to play, but I think sometimes they think they're not going to play, and they don't quite work through the week like they need to work. And so, that'll be something that we'll spend a lot of time on this week. But hey, 4 sacks, tied a season high. Really should have had 6. We had 2 more just to finish the play. We got the turnover back. That was really good. Not losing the margin. I was proud of them for that. It was awesome. Did a good job on 3rd down, and so a lot of good things in the game. Aiden was good. Hoosier made 2 more field goals. He's made every field goal we've attempted where we've blocked them. So I'm proud of him. And probably the other biggest disappointment for me was I didn't think we were as disciplined today as we need to be. Too many penalties, too many personal fouls. Coaches, we had one on us. We had 12 men in the game. That's really poor. To give them a 1st and 5 right there. So plenty of things discipline-wise that we can clean up. But at the end of the day, fun's in the winning. We got it done. And again, special day. We're where we want to be. I mean, we're undefeated in September and October. The primetime phase of our journey is over. When we get back in the Valley November 2nd, we've got a chance. That's all you can ask for. So we just got to keep getting better. We got to all get better because at the end of the day, we're just 6-1. But we are in position. We've worked really hard to get to this point, but man, it's just going to get tougher. The air gets thinner in November. Margin for error gets smaller. So we all got to improve. We all got to get better. And again, I think this is a really, really important week for our football team. We can't lose to Clemson this week. I say that every week. If we don't lose to Clemson, we're gonna have a great week, and it's no different. Even though we're playing open, we've got to stay focused on what we got to do. It's a very big week, and especially, I don't ever remember having 2 open dates. I think maybe during COVID, maybe we had.
You have. It happens every every few seasons.
I don't remember the last time we've had 2 open dates, but we're gonna take full advantage of it. I promise you that. So I'm really happy that we've got this opportunity to kind of reset on some things. And a lot of people got a lot of film on you now. So it's a lot of opportunity for us, some self-scout, and a lot of things that we can improve on. But again, a great win, proud of everybody. And it's Walker Park's birthday today, Patrick Swiger's birthday today. So good day, fun day in the Valley.
So is QB2 getting tight between Antonio and CV at all?
Did you see that pass? Thank God he was wide open. I mean, he could have fair caught that thing. It was so bad. I mean, that was terrible. That looked like some of my birdies that I've had that you write 3 and you circle it, but it hit off a tree and went in, and you go, hey, no pictures on the scorecard, right? So, wow, what a terrible pass. But
how important is it though for Antonio to be able to sell it on those trick plays?
It's big. I mean, it's big. It was, that was film study. Had a great design of play. Caught him in with 1 safety. Was able to lift the corner and do what we need to do right there. Good little sell. Stellato, wasn't it? When that's Stellato, it was a good little sell by him. And yeah, he's thrown the ball really well. I think he's been reading his press clippings all week. But that was. I didn't think it was going to ever come down. I don't know if the D tackle was going to catch up to it before it came down, but that was a great play, great call. And as was the 4th and 1, I thought that was another, great call. That, especially as a head coach, you're like, all right, boys, let's go. This is a big one here. That was another positive. We did a good job on 4th down. I think we were. What were we today? We were 11 of 17 on 3rd and 4th down. 2 and 4th down. So that's high level football. And I think we were 8 of our first 11, and missed a couple late in the game and with some subs.
Did you feel like the defensive line sort of asserted itself to take control after the 10 points?
Yeah, I thought they did a great job. I thought our D-line really, they controlled the run game. We affected the quarterback. We got after him. Again, for the most part, we contained him well. The one that got outside us was the one they threw to Kobe off a little scramble, and we missed the tackle, and that was a nice little play. But for the most part, we squeezed him pretty good. And I thought they were very, very good. Again, they're all frustrated because there were a couple more sacks there that we just didn't quite finish. But I thought they played well. I can't wait to watch the tape. I felt really good about what we were doing up front.
Was Barrett supposed to have safety help on that
Yes,
deep ball?
corner help. Yeah, we're supposed to middle that. Yeah, it's just 3D. They just ran 2 birds. Just ran 2 birds. You got to middle it. That's an easy play, day 1 installation, and we just didn't do it. We just busted.
On your first drive, you had a touchdown called back, ineligible.
Yeah.
How do you coach the linemen to know?
I mean, you don't change anything. I mean, that's a bang bang play, and Cade knew as soon as he threw it, because I mean it's off of your counter action right there. I mean it's a bang bang play, wasn't there, so now he's scrambling around. He should just run for it right there, because they don't know what he's doing. And if you hold the ball that long on an RPO, they're going to be downfield. So that was the right call, and he was open, but he knew right away. Tough. That's tough. When you scramble like that on an RPO, you just got to keep that in your mind.
Good day offensively, 60% on 3rd downs, 100% going 2 for 2 on those big 4th down conversions late in the game. Just another all-around great game. Sluggish start like last week in Winston-Salem. What are your thoughts on, as you mentioned, just everybody just doing their part, making their plays when y'all needed it most?
Yeah, I mean, again, I thought offensively, they came right out of the gate. That was a great drive. I know we got the field goal, but we were backed up. I think we were on the 10, maybe 11, and that was a great drive. And we ended up having the penalty. We got the field goal, and then the 3rd quarter, we had a penalty. I think Sammy had a block in the back. Start on the 10-yard line, and we go 90 yards for a touchdown. That was awesome. I thought last week offensively we were a little sluggish to start, but this week they were ready. We only had 2 possessions in the 1st quarter. They possessed the ball on us with that long drive there, and then the 2nd drive, Cade I don't know, he just made a bad play. Because we had a good drive going right there. Just got the 1st down, and then we come run a little bootleg, and he just threw it right to the guy. But then we go, touchdown. We started getting in a little bit of a rhythm there. So we only had 2 non-scoring drives in the 1st half. So good rhythm, and then again defensively, probably the biggest thing in the 1st half was the 3rd and 17. Was really disappointing, and then just a couple of little miscues that we cleaned up as the game went.
What are your thoughts on kind of reunion, Tony Elliott, Kobe Pace, Sage Ennis kind of coming home?
Yeah, I saw Sage. I didn't get a chance to see Kobe, unfortunately, but I got a chance to see Kobe. And Sage, but I got to see Lindsey. I got to see Adam Choice. Smo's over there. We got there's a lot of Clemson people. Maverick Morris is, I think, with him. And he's got a good group over there. But it was fun to spend time with Tony. That was awesome to see Ace and AJ. Golly, hadn't been around them day to day now in a couple of years, and they have just shot up. And great to see Tamika. They're like I said, they're family, and really cool that they were here for CJ being honored. And that was something I know he takes a lot of pride into. He's been a great mentor for CJ, and as he got into coaching, really cool to. Obviously, they have known each other a long time, but it was unique. It was something different for me, and fun. But once you kick the game off, you want to smash them, and they want to smash you. So that's all good. That's the way it should be. Man, there's nobody I love more than Tony Elliott. He's truly one of the great people in my life.
To
see Troy Stellato take that big pop, I think, to start the fourth quarter and just get right back up. Just what does that say about his toughness, and just what are your thought process on that?
Yeah, he's a tough kid. He's kind of duct taped together out there every week, honestly. But he keeps on going. I mean, he's a tough-minded kid. He loves to play. He loves to play. You know, he don't always like to practice. We're working on that. But he loves to play. I mean, that kid is as tough as they come when it comes to competitiveness and just really. And I think a lot of that's just driven by, you know, oftentimes you have to lose something to really have the proper appreciation for it. And you know, he couldn't even play for a couple of years around here. I mean, and so I just think he has a great appreciation for the opportunity to go play and to seize the moment and take advantage of opportunity. And he's done that. So again, I mean, Tyler Brown's he's been a non-factor. He's rolling around on a scooter, and you know, Wesco, he's pretty good, and he's in street clothes. Those are two really good players. You know, guys are just stepping up and making plays. And Troy's been one of those guys that has really been really steady and made some timely catches for us.
Yeah. Just going pegs on Brown and Wesco.
Well, you know, Tyler, we did the tightrope, so you know, those just vary. I mean, we did it on Tyler Davis, and I think he was back in 2 weeks. So I think it's just kind of you know, it just depends on, you know, the person. So we're hopeful, especially with an open date, that he's going to make some really good strides. And, you know, and he was doing good, but he just kind of plateaued, and we just couldn't get him over the hump. So they made that decision. So hopefully that'll help him, kind of that last little piece of healing. And then Wesco, you know, we're hopeful after the open date he's ready to go. So he's doing everything he needs to do. So we'll know more probably next Monday when we get into the full week.
Just going back to Tony Elliott, you mentioned how once the game starts it doesn't matter, but after you get his final touchdown, so you kind of give him a tip of the cap, a little bow. What was that moment like?
Yeah, that was a good call. I mean, he went in our young corner out there, you know, took a little shot. So I saw him smiling over there. So I just tipped my hat to him. You know, they kept playing. They kept playing. So I tried to call the dogs off, but you know, he wouldn't let me.
What was it like to see CJ as emotional as he was down there on the field? What Clemson means to him, what he means to Clemson. It was pretty emotional.
It really was. You know, he's 37 years old now, and I've known him since he was about 16. And talk about emotional. We're getting ready to leave the building yesterday. I'm getting ready to go get on the bus at, you know, we leave at 4:40. 4:40 to go to the hotel. And I'm about to walk out of my office, and right when I'm going to walk out of my office, CJ walks in. And he hands me this big cardboard, you know, envelope thing. I thought it was a picture in it. Maybe he signed a picture or something. I didn't know. And I opened it up, right? And he walks out and gave me a big hug and just talk about, you know, how thankful he was for the opportunity this weekend. And he had written me one of the greatest letters I've ever had. I mean, it really just made me sit down at my desk to just read what he wrote. It was so special and meaningful. And it was just, like I said, I'm thankful that the good Lord, I knew he'd go in the Ring of Honor one day, but I'm just glad that the good Lord let me be here to see it. And there'll be more that will have an opportunity. But man, CJ, I mean, he's special. I mean, he really truly is one of the first people to believe in me. And I really don't think that I'm here, you know, without him. I mean, he really changed Clemson. I said that in the deal. You know, why is Clemson putting him in? Why did we choose him? Because he chose Clemson, and the rest is history. So just you know, he's special. I love his whole family, and it's just awesome to be able to do life with him at this point. You know, CJ was a guy that always would come back every year. Come back. And right before he'd go to training camp, he'd come and he'd want to spend a day, and we'd sit and we'd talk, and you know, and he just has always had this plan for his life and what he wanted to do. It's really cool to see him living it out, and he's special. I mean, he's just truly a great human being, and it's really cool to see him honored. I don't think people really understand how good he was. I mean, he was spectacular. There's records that probably won't be broken, you know, what he did at Clemson. And man, if you put him on a team like this, he would be, he might be video game material. But it was an awesome moment. It was awesome, and I'm happy for his family. And just, he was a great father, great husband, and it was definitely emotional, but I enjoyed every second of it.
What was your read on that situation where the UVA player got ejected and some guys from the bench?
I didn't really know what happened. I still don't really know what happened other than
It was him and Tristan, I think.
yeah, they got into it. I don't know if the guy, I don't know. Must have been something before they eject the guy. But yeah, it was a little scuffle. I don't really know what happened.
Good job by Hannafin to secure that onside kick.
Yeah.
They got the bounce they wanted on that.
Yeah, it was actually we had two of them. I think
Yeah.
Olsen had the second one.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you work on onside every single week. We do that every single week. We work on it on Mondays, work on it in our specialty period. We work on it every Thursday. You know, we take 5 minutes or so and we just work onside. You don't ever know when those situations are going to come up. So it was really, really good. And a great job again by Ronan and Olsen to secure the ball in that situation.
Vic Burley was out for today's game. What is his status? And I guess.
Yeah, day to day. You know, so he wasn't able to go today. So hopefully he'll be ready to play open this week when we get back at it.
TJ Moore previously reverted some bad habits in other games. And what have you seen from him in his growth?
Just steady. Since that first game, or I guess that was his first start, and you know, he didn't really play well in that game. You know, as far as little things we needed to do, but it's just been really businesslike, really steady, and made some big plays today. He had the PI, and he had the big dig route. It was a really, really good play right there. Obviously had the touchdown at the end of the game. So I mean, he's a really good player, but I told him on the sideline, you better use some of that NIL money, go buy Harris dinner. Those Harris Sewell saved him on that fumble. 55 went and got it. So I was really proud of Harris. But he's pretty easy to see. You know, he's a special player. He attacks the ball, he runs through the ball. You know, he's just sticky and very smooth. He's just gonna keep getting better. Grace has done a really good job with him as far as just, you know, what we're asking to do week in and week out. And his confidence is really growing. He's got a bright future.
Putting the first team offense back out there in the fourth quarter, that had something to do with what you were talking about earlier, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, you know, to his credit, I mean, I'm trying to call the dogs out, but he's that's what I told those guys. Guys, when we put the subs in, they don't call timeout and say, oh, they put the backups in, let's put our backups in. You know, they don't do that. It doesn't work that way. And you know, so they went tempo and there's no huddle and they're flying down the field and score on those guys, and then they onside it. So yeah, it's 16 points, but it's technically a 2-score game. So I'm like, all right, well, we're gonna go score again, and so we did. And then we put subs back in there and they go right at one. But hey, Stroser's got to get better. He's got to get better. He's got a job to do. I mean, he's a talented kid and he hadn't played a lot, so you got to learn from it and get better.
You mentioned the tempo. It seemed like early in the game when they had some big plays, your guys weren't really getting lined up at the snap. Did you?
I mean, I saw a little bit of that with our subs late in the fourth quarter, but early on, I don't recall that. I'll have to see that early, you know. But I mean, their biggest play was the 3rd and 17, you know, off the turnover. That was the biggest play of the whole first half. Quarterback draw, and we had the exact call that you need to have in that situation, and we didn't get it done. So I was really disappointed. That's the biggest play, and that led to a score. Again, offense put them in a bad situation, but that doesn't excuse that right there. So I thought we did a good job, especially in the second quarter. But the latter part of the game, we were getting the call in at plenty of time, but they just were slow to communicate and get lined up. You know, with some of those guys that we had in the game.
You said going into the season that people around the country are going to know who Wade Woodaz is. How about the season that he's having?
pretty good. He's a great he's a great kid, first of all. He's a great leader. He's an unbelievably committed guy to his team. He's a great teammate. He's really smart. He's worked his butt off to become a great player. And, you know, he's not just a talented guy, he's a great player. A lot of details, a lot of studying. He's big, he's strong, he's physical. And he's really, really fun to coach. That kid's a baller. He's gonna play football for a long time. You know, I'm glad we got him.
Any questions for Coach virtually? Anybody else in the room?
Antonio Gordon's missed a few games last season due to injury. Now he's leading the team in receiving yards and having a great season. How awesome is it to see him bounce back like this and put together such a strong season?
It's awesome. I'm really happy for him, and I'd say the same thing about him that I said about Stellato. You know, sometimes you really have to. Sometimes you either have to lose something or be in danger of losing it to really, truly appreciate it. And especially when you really play maybe more than you should play early in your career. And you know, I think he's an example of that. But I mean, by game 3 last year, our 2 starting receivers were out. You know, Cole was done for the year, and Antonio was done. And Antonio was able to come back and play in the bowl game, but done for the year. And that was a real strain on us, especially those are guys. And Stellato wasn't out for the whole. I mean, he didn't get cleared till the Duke game. So all these guys you've been throwing to, you know, they're not there. And you don't have a lot of rhythm in what you're doing. And Adam was battling off an injury as well. So man, I'm really happy for Antonio. He's been awesome. I mean, but it's this. What you're seeing is just a reflection of the work that he put in. That when the stands are empty. You know, that's what he bought into. And I mean, it started in January, and he has been a relentless worker, detailed guy, teammate, leader, you name it, complete ownership of that position since January. And I mean, it's really, really paid off. And he's been awesome every week. I mean, game and race, touchdown. He scores like every week. I mean, he just makes plays. And we're doing a lot of different things. He plays all 3 positions. You know, he's got ownership of all 3 positions. He's just very invested. So I'm really happy for him. He's a great example he's a great example for a guy like Tyler Brown, who obviously, you know, it hadn't gone the way he wanted to go this year. But man, I think Antonio's, you know, really been a great encouragement to him. So proud of him. He's one of the most consistent players on our team.
How's Quinn Caston doing after his no day?
Yeah, he's doing good. I mean, just text back and forth with him the other night. You know, he's lucky. I mean, it's disappointing, obviously, because you know he's done as far as being able to, you know, do what he wants to do. I mean, being ready as a kicker for us. But you know, he's still part of our team, and just thankful he's going to be okay. You know, broken bones will heal up, but very, very fortunate to that it wasn't worse. So I'm happy that he's going to be okay, and I know his team, everybody's reached out to him to wish him well, and so hopefully I'll see him here this week soon.
Coach, today was Breast Cancer Awareness Day, your All-In Foundation. I mean, just the years that foundation has done for people and what this game means to people. I mean, just kind of wrap it all up with how the day was so special for people outside this place and also who are part of this family.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's so much more to life than football, you know, and I know it's important, but there's people out there that are really battling with some really tough situations. And I know intimately what it's like to have a loved one deal with cancer, my dad died of lung cancer. You know, Cass' sister died of breast cancer. I've had lots of friends and, you know, other family members. It's you know, we've all been impacted by that. And so it's really cool when you see people come together and help use this platform that we're so blessed with to help other people. You know, and you know, whether it's raising money to buy a bus that can do free mammograms, or it's raising money for research that creates opportunity for people, whether it's better treatment, earlier prevention, whatever that is. I mean, it's just a blessing, and there's so many people that are part of it. The Tigers for Tatas, that is such an awesome campaign, and you know, the Roar is amazing. I think I'm going over to Jersey Mike's on Wednesday and do some stuff. And I love, you know, I've had this is my belt jacket, $45. I think it's about 8, 9 years old. I'm losing buttons though. I'm down to 2 over here. I need somebody to sew some buttons on this thing for me, but you know, it's always fun, you know, to just, because the pink, I think a day like today just brings a lot of hope to a lot of people. And we had a young man that graduated from Clemson, named Weston V. Hill, and he was an engineering grad here in 19. And last year at this time, he was diagnosed with this rare type of cancer, and he's been battling for a whole year, chemo out in Arizona where his job is. His family's from this area, but his mom had reached out like during the season last year, and you know, was getting us to try to encourage Weston, and Weston ended up encouraging us as a team. So it was really cool because Weston was able to come to the game today, and he came and got a chance to visit with the team yesterday at our walkthrough. And he's still got a couple more treatments that he's got to do, but it was pretty cool from where he was this time last year to where he is now, and it was really neat for the team. So, you know, I just think that there's a lot of great awareness that gets created, and hopefully a lot of people, you know, that have the opportunity just to smile and know that people care about them, and people are thinking about them, and people are trying to do something to help, you know, help other people that are in need. And to me, that's what it's all about.
Anybody else for Coach? Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.